cross legs, just uncomfortable, put your legs out straight. Allow your eyelids to fall forward and down, and we'll focus on our breath. Just begin by just trying to connect to the ebb and flow of your breath. Coming away from your busy day and your distractions in the external environment. With our eyes closed, it makes us start to become aware of the internal. Noticing any sensations in our body. And then just checking into our posture, into our face to begin with. Our eyes squeeze shut. Can we soften our eyes, our eyebrows, soften our cheeks, and particularly our jaw. We hold a lot of tension in our jaw, so wiggle your jaw from side to side, just releasing any tension. And then relax your jaw. And then come to your shoulders. If you have any tension on your shoulders, just gently draw the shoulders down and lift the heart. Drawing the belly in. Sit bones pressed into the edge of your block. Arms are soft. On your next breath in, I want you to breathe in all the way down into the belly. A long breath. And then exhale from the belly. One more time, breathe into the belly. And out through the nose, exhale from the belly. Breathe into the ribs. Exhale from the ribs. As you breathe in, feel your ribs part, expand away from one another. And then as you exhale, feel them contract, coming back to their natural position. And I breathe into the chest. Feel your chest rise as you breathe in and expand. Exhale through the nose and contract, relaxing the shoulders. One more time, breathing in to the chest. And then exhale. I want you to breathe into the belly for 2, ribs for 2, chest for 2. Exhale out of the belly for 2, ribs for 2, chest for 2. 2 more times. Breathe into the belly for 2, ribs and chest. Exhale the belly, ribs and chest. One more time on your own. Try to keep that length that you've just practiced. So you did a full in-breath for a count of 6 and an exhale for a count of 6. One more time, breathing in for 6 and exhale. Down towards the floor, so the weight of your hands is just bringing an extra bit of stretch to the back of the neck, the upper back, relaxing the shoulders. Breathe in, and on the exhale start to roll up through your spine, opening the elbows out wide, lifting the nose and the chin all the way up to the ceiling, opening up your heart. Breathing in, hold, pressing the back of your head into the hands into the head, and on the exhale start to fold round in the spine, chin into the chest, allow the elbows to weigh heavy. Breathe in, hold it there, and on the exhale start to roll up through your spine, opening up the elbows, the chest, the heart is lifted. Breathe in, hold it there. And on the exhale, come to a neutral spine. Release your hands, flutter your eyelids open. Take your right arm behind and interlace both hands onto your left side. I want you to drop your right earlobe to your right shoulder and then just gently nod your head in this position so that the nose comes forward and then the back of the head goes back. So you feel a deeper stretch on the side of the neck. Bringing it forward and back one more time. Bringing it forward and back. Come to center and take both hands over to the right side of your waist and drop your left earlobe to your left shoulder. Continue to breathe in slowly. And as you breathe out, bring the nose forward and then the back of the head back. 2 more times. Forward and back. 1 more. Forward and back. And release your hands, coming back to center. Take your arms out by your side and then turn the palms around. Float the arms all the way up to the ceiling, interlace, and float the hands all the way around. So you're rotating the palms, that's it. So breathe in, stretch the palms all the way up to the ceiling. And on the exhale, release the shoulders back and down. Good, one more time. Breathe in, reach up, hug the shoulders to the ears. And on the exhale, shoulders back and down. One more time. Inhale. Reach, ribs in, belly in. And on the exhale, release and wiggle your fingers as you float through body waters. That's it. We're going to roll the shoulders one at a time. Big circles with the shoulders. That's it. Opening up the chest. Sitting up tall. One more. And then both circles. 1, 2. Big juicy circles. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And on the last one, keep the shoulders rotated back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And now rotate the palms. Float the arms up. This time we're lifting our gaze. A little micro back bend. Hands come together and slide them down through your midpoint. Interlace your hands and rotate your palms with facing me. And then push your hands towards me as you round your chin into your chest, round your upper back. Breathe and then on the exhale, lift the palms all the way up to the ceiling, straightening up the spine. And once again, release your hands through muddy waters, wiggling your fingers. Good. Side stretch over. So we're going to take the right arm all the way up to the ceiling and then side stretch. Left hand for support. Both sit bones on the mat. So now we're stretching our side ribs from our armpit to our waist. That's it. Good. Left hand on the floor for support and then all the way through center. Other side. Left arm up, breathe in. And on the exhale, side stretch. So now we're creating space in the ribs. Rather than just collapsing, we want to feel a nice big stretch from the armpit to the waist. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Come on, through center. Good. Coming on to our hands and knees. Tabletop position. We're going to just start by warming up the wrists a wee bit more. So I want you to rotate the fingers away from each other so that the fingers are now pointed in towards you. Now, if you can't get the whole way around and you are here, that's okay. So if you're around the whole way, we want to rock the body forward and back. So actually tuck the toes under. So rocking the body forward and back. So it's an intense stretch for the wrists. And if you're only part way there, I think most of you are here, but for those of you at home, if you're only part way around, then sway your body from side to side rather than forward and back. So for those of you who are here, we're rotating or rocking our body forward and back and peeling the heel of your hand away from the floor. So you're coming onto the fingers essentially, giving it a nice big stretch. One more time. And then rotate your hands the right way around. And then with the toes still tucked under, we're going to walk the hands all the way back. We're going to do that stretch once again. So take your right hand over to your left side of your waist, interlace, and then drop your right earlobe to your right shoulder. So your toes should be tucked under. And then we're going to nod forward and back, forward and back. One more time.
to your right waist, and then drop your left earlobe and nod your head once again. So it's a nice big stretch for the neck and the shoulders. One more. And back to center. Release your hands, float your arms all the way up to the ceiling, looking up at the ceiling, and then down through your midline. Breathing out and rocking your body forward, and like a little adult tantrum, we're going to pat the feet out. Adult tantrum. Good. So from here, we're going to take the right hand behind your head, okay, elbow wide, and we're going to lift that right elbow all the way up to the ceiling. Lift it up to the ceiling. Good. And then you're going to bring that right elbow down to your left wrist. For 5, open it up. Open it back to the ceiling. 4, 3 more, open to the ceiling. 3, twist, 2, twist, and 1. And this time we're going to open the right arm all the way up, looking up towards your thumb, breathing in, and on the out breath, place your right hand back down, shoulder distance apart. From here, we're going to take both heels of our hands away from the floor. So now we're stretching our fingers. So keep your fingers on the floor. We're lifting the heel of the hand. That's it. And lower. 10, 9, spread your fingers. 8, 7, 6, good. 5, this is strength. I was strengthening for your forearm muscles. 3, 2, and 1, as well as your wrists. Now on your side. Left hand behind your head, open the left elbow to the ceiling, and then lower the elbow to the right wrist for 5, and up, 4, draw the navel in, and up, 3, and up, 2, breathe in, exhale, and 1. And then release the left arm, rotating the gaze, look up at your thumb, left arm, rotate to the ceiling. Place it back down, and once again we're lifting our heel of our hands for 10. So, because in yoga, keep going, we do a lot of weight bearing on our hands. It's super important to strengthen our wrists and our forearms. So the more dense our bones become, then the stronger we are. We can cope with our hand balances, handstands, cartwheels, and the fancy stuff. 2 more, and 1. But it's even just to help with downward dogs. Okay. So, speaking of which, we're going to move into a plank. So take your right leg out behind, tuck your toes under, and then take your left leg out behind, tuck your toes under. Now, we've warmed up the toes. The toes are super important in yoga as well. So we need them to be flexible. So in our plank, we're going to keep the body sturdy and strong, not move the hips up and down. We're going to use our toes, our feet, to rock our body forward and back, engaging our core. So try not to lift the hips. You're using your feet to bring your forehead forward beyond the front of your mat, and then bring your heels back. So bring in your toes, try not to lift the hips, forward and back. Try to keep going. 3 more, 3. Not lifting the hips, not lifting the hips, using the toes. Rocking forward, strengthening the shoulders. And 1. Good. Drop your knees to the mat and lower down. So not bad. I always like to throw in something different and something new. So I'll just show you a little bit. So we have warmed up our wrists, but if you find that, oh, that's really tough, yeah, good, shake it out. Now, we need to spread these hands because each finger has a purpose. If our hands are together, it's not that it's bad, it's just that they're not being utilized, okay, to support you in all these poses. Because eventually, when we come to all the fancy stuff, like balancing, you need all your digits to support that balance, okay? So if your hands were closed, you may not have as much support. So when we are in plank, and we are working on strength as well as flexibility, and you take it in the shoulders, hug the forearms in, rotate the biceps, and use the toes to bring it forward and to the tippy toes and back. Now my core is super engaged here. I'm working my core like mad. So rather than going, okay, all that's doing is essentially working the core and not working the shoulders and the arms, okay? So let's give it a whirl again. Come into your tabletop position, stacking your shoulders above your wrists, hips above your knees, hip distance apart. Take out your right leg behind. and then your left. Now, get your core engaged. Get your shoulders stacked, spread your hands. Hug the forearms in, rotate your biceps. Draw the navel in a lot. Now use your toes to rock your body forward. That's it, more, and back. Good. That's it, everybody. Excellent. 2 more. Try not to lift those hips. Beautiful. 1 more. Beautiful. From here, drop the knees. Hug those forearms in, and then slowly bend those elbows to the point of the back of your mat so that the inside of your arms rub against the outside of your torso. So, let's try that again, okay? So I'm going to turn around this way. So there is 2 parts, which probably what you have been doing a wee bit there, Erin. There's 2 elements in yoga which each teacher does whichever one that they fancy, and I go to one to the other. So in Surya Namaskar, it's downward dog to plank to chaturanga. Now, you might see this as well. So they have plank, and then the knees drop, the heart drops, and the chin drops. Okay? And then you slide forward into cobra. Me personally, I don't like teaching that to beginners because you have a weakness, you don't have all the strength in your shoulders and your triceps to support the drop, okay? So what happens then is you put too much weight on the shoulders and you collapse, alright? So I like to keep it to the plank, chaturanga, which is hard enough as it is, and then the cobra. The cobra in yoga is a back bend, okay? It's an extension of the spine, and essentially that's a back bend. So in order to do a cobra, we need to super engage this, okay? So there is also a theory for and against using the tush. I'm all for the tush because I have a back problem. And I know if I didn't use my tush, my back gets worse. So therefore, coming from experience, use the goddamn tush. So, come into plank. We're going to drop our knees. Now what I don't want to happen is this. So I want you to bring your tush with you. Squeeze the belly in. Start to engage the glutes a little, not a lot, but it's the arms. So it's the elbows that bend towards the points of the back of your mat. Bring them in. Yeah. So come back up, plank. So what's happening is your hands are too far back. So when you're lowering, you're going to collapse, you're going to collapse, you're going to collapse. Okay? So we need to bring the hands a little bit further forward. Bring the hips down low. So this is called half plank. Okay, good. Now try not to sink the hips. Try not to sink the hips. Have the hips in line with the knees and line with the shoulders. Good. Elbows lower, lower, lower. Now if you find that that is really too challenging, this is what you do. You lower onto your forearms first. Then you lower the hips. And then you lower. Okay? So that's really breaking it down. So in half plank, lower the forearms, then lower the thighs and the hips, and then take the elbows out. Boom. Okay, so it may take a wee bit longer to do that. For now, we're going to stick with our yoga press up. Shoulder distance apart, draw the navel in, shoulders square. Don't bring them down low. That's it. That's it, that's it. Take your hips with you, take your hips with you. Okay? It's just, you know what it is as well? In any form of exercise, physical, all the messages to the brain, they're called neural messages. So whatever you're asking your body to do, it's constantly sending these neural messages to the brain. If you keep doing something in a specific way, which may not be the right way, the neural messages tell the brain that's what you're supposed to do. And it's wrong. So your muscles have learned something, and then you have to retrain your muscles, okay? And that's harder to do, to retrain. Because your muscles get habitual, like anything, and also your muscles have memory. So if you haven't done something in a while, you go back into it, the muscle will start to do the thing that's not the right way, okay? So I am going to be a stickler for it, because, and my husband is recorded, so he is wild for it because he has a certain amount of weakness in his shoulders for doing this in chaturanga. Okay? So he drops his shoulders lower than his elbows. I'm like, Jesus, it is so hard to get him not to do it. Okay? Because he's trained his body to do that. The neuromusculus, that's all it knows. All the neuromusculus, that's all it knows. So we're going to stop, we're going to say no. So if you find that you can't lower all the way down, then take the elbows, slowly lower. And over time you will strengthen those arms in order to bring yourself down to the mat the correct way. Okay? Let's give it another whirl. Back to our high plank now, or half plank. You decide if you're going to drop the elbows, no problem whatsoever. Breathe in, and on the out breath, hug them in as if they're two magnets. The two elbows are two magnets. As you lower, lower, lower. That's it, more. Good. That's it, Kelly. Good, 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 good. That's it, 100%. Okay. Squeeze those tush. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now slide the nose and chin forward, and then lift the heart away. Squeeze the tush. That's it. Elbows in. Don't lie on the wing. That's it. So you're mapping your brain. Then bring it back down. Tuck the toes under. Now this is the tough part. You're going to push up into your half plank again. Elbows in. Two magnets. Push. Belly in. And then the brain goes, It's not going to happen. Okay? So if you find that's not going to happen, you bring right knee in and then the left knee in. Okay? But it has to be quick. So, you can do it. I know you can. So, two magnets on the elbows. Squeeze the belly in. Squeeze the tush. And then push up. Push up, push up, push up. That's it, that's it, that's it. Lift the knees. And then lift the hips. Downward dog. Now, again, option here is, as always, is to use your blocks. So if you want to even grab your blocks in downward dog, place your hands on top of the blocks, just so that you can notice the difference between with or without the blocks. So it just gives you that little bit of elevation from the floor. Keep the knees bent. The hips up high. Still keeping the forearms hugging towards one another. Rotate the biceps away. So you want to imagine that the shoulder blades are going down your body. Shoulders away from the ears, yeah? Ribs in, belly in. And the knees are bent. So as a consequence, with the knees bent, the heels will be naturally lifted. You're not purposely lifting them from the floor. That's it. A wee bit wider, Kelly, with your feet. That's it. Try to keep the knees in line as well. Yes, 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 yes. Good. Heel and line with toes. Good, lovely. And you want to create length, length, length in the spine. Lift up your sit bones. Lift, lift, lift. Good. Don't lift your heels. Don't lift your heels. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, slowly lower the knees to the mat. So, let's talk about downward dog. What happens when the legs are straight? The spine will round to try and get these hips to the floor. When you bend your knees, your spine will lengthen. Now, your sit bones are those 2 points right in the middle of the tush, right? And they're the 2 bones that you sit on. They're called the sitting bones. So, when I say lift them, really see, if you can notice. So, at the minute, I'm not engaging my sit bones. Now I'm going to engage them. You see the difference? Okay? So by lifting them, it creates a little bit more length in the lower back. Okay, yeah, okay? So at the minute, that lower back wants to be lazy. It's not going to engage. So you need to lift your sit bones, tuck in your tailbone ever so slightly. So these are little incremental movements, changes in your body that will help create that length in the spine, alright? Also what happens then, because of a certain amount of weakness in your corset area, is the ribs will want to flare to get that length in your spine. But the ribs have a purpose. They're there to protect the organs. So if you start to flare the ribs, then when it comes to standing, this is the way you're going to be, because you have sent the message to the brain to bring them forward. So when I say bring the ribs in, so in downward dog, because what people are trying to do, for whatever reason, I have no idea where they learned this, but they're trying to bring their body to the thighs. It's not about that, okay? So to do that, they're bringing the ribs forward, and I want the ribs in, and the belly in, and the sit bones up. You see? Okay, so these are little incremental things that you have to think of in downward dog. I have maybe done downward dog 10,000 times, and believe me, there might be a moment and I'll go, oh, light bulb, something has changed. And I've done it 10,000 times before. So you never stop learning downward dog. Plus, when you downward dog at the start of the class. It's super hard, but by the end of the class, you're thankful for a downward dog. You're like, thank you, because you've done so many hard poses throughout the class, okay? So let's give it a whirl again on the blocks. Starting in tabletop position, tuck the toes, both feet under, engage your core. Draw the navel in, hover the knees, and then lift the sit bones. Lift the hips up high towards the ceiling. Toes in line with heels. Spreading the hands, so think into the hands first. Hug the forearms in. So hug the forearms, not the elbows. Hug the forearms. Now rotate these biceps. Okay. Now drop your head, and your dressing, your focus is anywhere between your knees. Anywhere between your knees. Now I want you to lift this up a little bit more, Kate. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And you are allowed to, rather than here lifting this up, you're allowed to bring the heart forward. I should say the heart forward. That's it. That's it. Good. Breathe. Lift the sit bones. Bend the knees. Slow and steady, just like you did at the start of the class. Belly in. One more breath. Breathe in. Beautiful. And on out breath. Bend your knees. Look to the front of your mat. Look at a space, a point between your two blocks. And then you're going to take your right leg up to that point, and then followed by your left. Followed by your left. Turn your blocks to the high side. Have your feet hip distance apart. And then forward fold. Have your knees bent and rest your hands on the blocks. So you have the mirror support. Now if you're doing this at home, you might have two, what do you call them, 2 litre water bottles or Kirschberg Coke bottles. Anything like that at home for support if you don't have blocks. Breathe. So even in this position, sit bones up to the ceiling, knees can be bent. Lengthening the backs of the legs. One more breath. Breathe in. And on out breath. Think into the tailbone. We're going to roll and stack each vertebrae. Relax the arms, relax the head. Draw the navel in so it stays active as you roll all the way up to Tadasana. Keep going, yeah. Roll up, stack, stack, stack. Head coming last. That's it. Slow, 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 slow. Good. From here, roll the shoulders, lift the heart. Start to bend the knees. Now watch what happens. I'm going to crease from my hips, bending my knees, and I'm leading with my heart. My heart's coming forward. Straight spine as I forward fold. Relax the arms. Your hands can come onto the blocks for support if you need them. And then roll up through your spine. So the head comes last. The arms are relaxed. Rolling and stacking. Once you get to standing mountain, once again, start to sit. Crease from your hips as if you're going into a squat. Lead with your heart. Your heart comes, so you're here, you've lifted your heart, and then you start to fold. Fold, straight spine. All the way over your legs. Roll up through your spine. We're going to do it one more time so I can have a watch. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Head comes last. So when you get to here, don't be like, oh, am I doing it right? Okay, follow through. Follow through, all the way up. You're just rolling up, stacking. Then when you get to here, ready, see me? When you get to here, roll the shoulders, lift the heart. So there's an extension of your spine. Now, bend your knees, stick out your tush, and then start to fold forward. That's it, that's it. Hard leading, relax the arms. Just allow the arms to dangle, dangle, dangle. Forward fold, head comes last. Start to roll up. Tailbone, sacrum. Lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, the upper back, back of your neck. Relax the shoulders, relax the shoulders. Tadasana. Okay, beautiful. Coming into Tadasana, hands to your heart. Okay, beautiful. Right, turn your blocks to the flat side. I'm going to do just 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar till we get it into our bodies. Breathe in, float the arms all the way up. Extended mountain. Look up at your thumbs, hands come together. Swan dive. Open and part the arms, lead with your heart, just like we just did. Bend the knees to bring your hands on top of the blocks. And then half lift, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Hands can come to the shins, lift your gaze. Now, what I want in straight spine is, rather than this to happen like a cat, I want you to bring your heart forward, shoulders away from your ears, stay in the straight spine. That's it. Keep the knees bent if you need to, but otherwise straight. Beautiful. Forward fold. Start to bend the knees just as we practiced there now. Melting onto the thighs. Bring your hands on top of the blocks. Step back with your right leg. Step back with your left leg into our plank. Drop the knees to our half plank. We're going to bend those elbows to the back of our mat. Hug them in. Forearms, hug, hug, hug. Lower, lower, lower. Don't allow those shoulders to go first. Don't allow the shoulders to go first. Melt all the way down. Now move your blocks out of the way. Hands to the mat. Squeeze your tush. Tuck in your tailbone. Hug those elbows in. Lift the heart. Use your hands. And then melt the chest. Bring those blocks back in. Either side of your chest. Tuck the toes under. Push the floor away. Half plank. Remember, belly in. Tuck the tailbone. And then go push. That's it. Make that lovely sound. And then lift the knees. Lift the hips, stepping up. So when we move from plank, I should say, into downward dog, your feet might be too far back. So if you look at me for a wee second, I'm in plank, and then I know I'm going into downward dog, so I step up. Just about an inch or two. Feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees, keep the knees bent. Breathe, find breath. Breathe in 1. Slow and steady. Breathe out. Beautiful spine. Beautiful spine. Breathe in 3. Bring this in a wee bit more. Yes, we stay there. Beautiful. I want you to lengthen a wee bit more. Bring your heart towards your thighs. So you are super tall, so your feet might go back here. Yeah. One more breath. Breathe in. Look at the gaze between your knees. That's your twisting. On the exhale, bend your knees. Lift your gaze towards the front of your mat. Fix your gaze on a point. Big step up with your right. Big step up with your left. Half lift for the same in breath. Hands to your shin. Remember, your heart towards the floor. Shoulders away from the ears. Lift your gaze. Gorgeous. Forward fold. Bend the knees. Hands come to the floor. And then straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Open the arms. Reverse. Swan dive. Up to extended mountain. Hands to your heart. I see progress. Breathe in. Extended mountain. Breathe out, swan dive, forward fold. So lead with your heart and bend your knees to get to the floor. Hands to the blocks. Half lift. Hands to your shin. Straighten your spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Heart to the floor. Beautiful. Forward fold. Hands to the blocks. Step back this time. Left. And then right. Plank. Drop your knees. Super strong biceps. Think Hulk. And then lower. Think Hulk. Be your Hulk. One. Lower all the. That's it. Oh my God, Erin. And LinkedIn. Take the blocks away. Squeeze the tush. Lift the heart, beautiful faces, and then melt. Think Hulk. Bring the hand, the blocks back in. Tuck the toes under. Squeeze the belly in. Push up. You go nearly. Go on. Lift the knees. No. Stepping up to downward dog. Bring the knees up to you. There you go. Good. And breathe. So you see now where you're in downward dog, it's like relief. I got a break. Look at the space between your knees. Slow and steady. This is a reset. Reset the breath. But also thinking, scanning your body. What can I do differently in this downward dog that I didn't do in the last one? Am I using my hands? Am I hugging my forearms? Am I ribs and belly in? Sit bones up. Toes aligned with heels. One more breath. Breathe in. You're doing fantastic. On the out breath. Bend your knees. Lift your gaze. Step up left. Followed by right. Half lift. Straighten the spine, straighten the legs. Heart forward. Yes, Kelly, yeah. Brilliant. Forward fold. And then swan dive, reverse. All the way up. Extend the mountain. Hands to your heart. Gorgeous. Okay, move your blocks away from the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your waist. Have your toes in line with your heels and hip distance apart, okay? So when you are moving from Surya Namaskar and coming to the front of your mat, immediately you're Tadasana, you're engaging. Knees are lifted, thigh muscles to the thigh bone, tailbone tucked, belly in, ribs in. You don't normally put your hands on your waist, you usually put your hands on your heart, okay? But we'll keep our hands on our waist for the next one. We're going to step back with the right leg towards the back of your mat, so you need to bend that left knee deeply to get the distance with the back leg. You're coming onto the ball of the right foot, so the heel is lifted, but all 10 toes are facing in front of your mat. You're not twisting round. Then you lift your shoulders, stack them above your hips, okay? We're going to reach our arms all the way up to the ceiling. Try to keep that back leg straight. You have to engage it super strong. Beautiful. Now keep the hips square. Don't allow that right hip to go back. So you need to drive that left heel back, your left heel. So it's not moving, but that's the drive inside your body. And then the right toes, you're driving them forward. So if balance is not your friend, you can widen your stance or narrow your stance, okay? So you build the strength. Good. Now the arms are reaching up, but the hips are sinking down. So a little bit of a test. You decide if you want to do it or not, okay? I'm not giving any rewards, okay? It's just a wee test for yourself. So we're going to lift the left heel for 3 and drop. 2 and drop. 1 and drop. Then we're going to drop the right knee to the floor for 3. Straighten. 2. Left knee stays bent. Do not straighten. And 1. Straighten. Then we're going to float the heart forward, bringing the arms back. So this is called humble crescent. As if you're bowing, but you're not collapsing. The spine is nice and long. Then we take a little step up with the back foot, and then lift it away from the floor. So this is coming into warrior 3. Doesn't matter how high it goes, however, this is the full pose. So the right leg is in line with your hip and your shoulders. Arms by your sides. Good. Holding it there, breathe. You're doing fantastic. Balance is not your friend, you just stay there. If you want to just work a little bit more, we go bend into the left knee. Bend, get my balance, and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more. Bend and straighten, and then step up with the right foot. Good. Hands on the waist, other side. Step back with the left. Again, remember, always for you, you always have that option. Widen your stance, a little bit more support, or narrow your stance. Right knee is bent deeply, left leg is straight. Drive the right heel back, left toes forward, so that one leg is going, or one hip is going back, one hip is going forward, and then reach the arms up. Now, with the arms up, and if that's too much, even for those of you at home, bring your hands to your waist. You shouldn't be watching, you should be listening. Bring your hands to your waist, it's an option. And then we're going for the heel lift for 3, 2, 1, and lower, drop the back knee. For 3, leg strengtheners, straight. 2, straighten. 1, straighten. Swoop the arms back, come forward with your heart, straight spine. Fix your gaze on the spot, that really helps with the balance. See the right big toe, the mind of the big toe, press it into the mat. Then start to step up with the back foot. Keep pressing the big mind of the toe into the mat as you lift the left foot away. Squeeze the belly in. Keep the hips square, the shoulders square. Bend the right knee for 3 and straighten. 2 and straighten. 1 and straighten. And join the left foot with the right. Step up. Not easy, but there you go, it's a challenge. And it's a challenge to see the possibilities that you can do. From here, hands into the waist, step back with the right. Step back with the right. We're going to rotate round to the right. Right heel drops down, and then have a quick peek. Make sure the heels are in line, but if you're someone who needs the wider stance, the heels will be apart. Okay, so once you're happy with your heels, straighten the torso, open the arms. Rotate your gaze. So warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, bending into that front knee, beautiful, sinking the hips, has 3 rotations. The left knee on this side is rotating to the left. Your right hip is rotating to the right, and your nose rotates to the left. So 3 rotations. Left knee, right hip, nose. Draw the belly in, tuck in the tailbone, ribs in, relax the shoulders. Everybody has a neck. Beautiful. Good. Now your drishti in Virabhadrasana 2 is your left middle fingernail on this side. Left middle fingernail. And we have drishtis, we have focuses, because people, humans, have a tendency to go, what's she doing? What's going on? What's going on? Am I doing it right? Oh my God. Okay? So these are focus points. Because yoga is all about the mind. To stop thinking of everything else. Just to think about you and what you're asking your body to do. And breathe. breath, breathe in. So you're going to hit me lots here, and I don't care either way. We're going to reach that left arm forward, 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 lunging forward with the left shoulder, and then rest the elbow onto the thigh. If you can't get the elbow, place your hand on the thigh. And then look back with your right palm, rotate it up to the ceiling, and float that arm, keep an eye on the palm as you bring it up and over your head. So from your right middle fingernail all the way down to the outside edge of your right foot should be one long line. Good, so you need to bend that left knee and check what's happening. It wants to come in, so you have to rotate it back. Good. Hamstring getting stronger. Quad getting stronger. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, rotate the torso back to Virabhadrasana 2. Hands at the waist, don't give up yet. Lift the back heel, rotate the hip round. Big step up. Whew. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Not easy, but you're doing fantastic. Step back with the left. We have to do it on the other side. That is the bad news. The good news is it's not going to last forever. Okay, we're going to get these legs super sexy. We're going to rotate left shoulder, left hip, left heel. Keep that right knee between two walls. Don't let it come in, don't let it come in. Look at the knee, look at the knee. If it's in here, bring it back. Okay, reach the arms up. Rotate your gaze. Now the drishti is your right middle fingernail. Bend into that right knee because you need to strengthen the quad. Big juicy muscles in the thigh. Yeah? And it won't strengthen if it's back here. Good. Open the knee, open the knee. Back leg is straight. Good. Now your toes, your left toes should be just 45 degrees. So it's the back heel that's pointing to the back of the mat, not the toes. Not the toes. So the heel. The heel. Yeah. Focus. Ribs in, tailbone in, belly in, shoulders back and down. And breathe. Think into your right big toe. It's working like mad. Working like mad. Have you ever thought your toes are going to be so strong? Working so hard, those toes? Yes. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath. There is leprechauns in this forest, and there's a pot of gold right out there. Reach for it. Go reach, 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 reach for the pot of gold. Beautiful. Bring the elbow to the thigh. Take the left arm up and overhead. Watch the pan. There might be money in it. Keep looking at the pan, keep looking at the pan. Outside edge of the left foot, all the way along to the middle finger. Sorry, I put you off. I put you off. Good. Breathe. Draw that navel in. It's working hard. It's meant to. Stay focused. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, I should remind you that yoga teachers don't know how to count. And then take your hands to your waist. Lift your left heel away from the floor. Rotate round to the front. Big step up. Whew. Shake it up. Shake it up. The Chinese proverb says that when a dog comes in from its run or wherever, and it comes in and it shakes itself when it comes in, it's leaving all the past behind. It's getting rid of it. So shake out the muscles. Leave it. Okay. It's done. It's done. Good. So come back to center. We're going to do a little balance. Hands into the waist. Take the weight over to the left foot. Bend into that left knee and take the right heel away from the floor. Just the right heel. This is eagle. Legs, we'll do the legs and then the arms. Right leg goes all the way across the left. Now this is a single wrap. This is a single wrap. If you can try to do the double wrap, the right toes wrap around the left calf. Hands can stay on your waist. Squeeze the legs together so the two legs are becoming one. Good. Good. Or the single. Stick to the single. Squeeze the thighs together. Sorry, I'm just looking around me. That's it, 100%. Now, unravel the legs, and we'll do the arms. Take the arms out shoulder height, hands facing one another. Bend the elbows. Bring the elbows and the forearms together. Hands together. Good. Because we've done the right leg, it's the left arm. So the left arm goes over the right. Now, option one, so the left goes over the right. That's it. You can bring the backs of the hands together. Option one, backs of the hands together. Option two is the left hand wraps around so that the palms come together. That's option two. Okay, good. Keep the arms where they are, whether it's the back of the hands or the palms together. We're going to go back to the legs. So take the right heel away, squeeze the arms together, take the right leg over the left. Now if you're in the one wrap, squeeze. The double wrap, crawl the toes, or wiggle the toes round. From here you can stay here if this is enough, otherwise we're lifting the hands and we're lifting our gaze. It's a real test of the balance. Then from here you fold the elbows into the belly and take your gaze with you. Fold in. And then unravel, coming back up to centre. And then unravel the arms, unravel the legs. Garudasana, eagle. Bring to the other side. So, try the legs first. Take the weight to the right, lift the left. Bend into the right knee. Take the left over the right. Single wrap, and one side will be more tricky than the other. So this is my tricky side, so I have to really work hard to get those toes to tuck behind the right leg. Hands back to your waist. So always give it a whirl, and if it's not working for you, that's okay. Just do the one wrap. Squeeze the legs together wherever you are. Once again, you're into the toes. So fake into the toes, and then unravel. Now for the arms. Take the arms out, shoulder height. Bend the elbows. Bring the forearms together. It's the right over the left this time. Right over left. Right over left. That's it. Option 1, back the hands come together. Option 2, keep twisting like a pretzel all the way around so that the palms come together. Good. Keep the arms where they are. We'll go back to the legs. Bend. Left heap. Take it over the right. Squeeze the legs together and start to wiggle. And then stay here if this is enough, otherwise we're lifting. Hands to the ceiling, this is my tricky side. And then bring the elbows into the belly. Fold, squeeze the belly in. Grind down into the big toe. Back to centre. And then unravel. How does it get on? Perfect. Yeah? I wish I had. Do you know it's so much better when I do this in the winter time because these windows become mirrors, so I can just look at the side and see everybody. But during the summer, just get away with murder. So let's go to the floor. So breathe in, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold, just like we did at the start. Hands to the blocks or to the floor. Bending deeply. Then come on to the right knee, then the left knee. Scoot the legs out to one side. And then come on to your sit bones. Legs out in front. Flex your feet, legs together. So we've done this before. And then sometimes what I like to do when I'm in a seated position is to take the flesh away from, the extra flesh away from your sit bones. So you can really feel those bones into the mat. Toes are flexed up to the ceiling. We're not using the block for this one because we're going to move here. So I want you just to use your core to really come away from the lumbar spine, the lower back. Just like we did at the start of the class, we're going to roll our shoulders one at a time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now roll both shoulders forward, up, back. Keep the shoulder blades squeezed back. Rotate the palms. Now lift the heart, lift the gaze, and float the arms up. Reach up, out of the sit bones. And then come forward. Now if you can't reach your toes, bring your hands to the floor or your shins. Lift your heart, breathe in. And on the exhale, start to come forward with your heart. Now the tendency is the shoulders to come forward and the heart to go back. We want to imagine, come back here, we want to imagine someone has a string attached to your heart. And then at the bottom of your feet, they're going to start pulling on that string. So that's your heart. Your heart is coming forward. Now if you're here, and you can go to here with the heart, stay here. Try not to bring those shoulders. Good, that's it. So squeeze those shoulder blades back. Keep those feet flexed so you're really engaging the legs. The legs are active, not passively just hanging out. That's it, forward fold, breathe. And your dressing is your 2 big toes, believe it or not. So now you can decide whether you need that manicure or not. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, straighten up. And we're going to take that right foot all the way up. Hold on to the shin. Then open up the right knee to the right. The sole of the foot can come into the inner thigh. And if that's too far, then bring the sole of the foot to your calf. Keep the left foot active. Toes going up to the ceiling. Not rotate it out, because then the knee follows with the toes. Sitting up tall, we're going to come forward with our heart again. So remember that string attached to our heart. Arms just by each opposite side of your leg, your left leg, and then come forward. It may be an inch, it may be a wee bit more. That's it. Shoulders back, squeeze the shoulders back, hard forward, keeping the hips square. Open up the right knee to the right. That's it, good. And breathe. So in our seated postures, we want to hold the postures for at least 5 breaths. So 5 breaths is 1 in and 1 out. That's 1. Same as in downward dog. That's about 4. And on the out breath, straighten up the torso, take the right leg up, extend it away, and then opposite side. Take the left knee up. Now I like to hold on to the shin to bring the heel all the way as close to the body as it can go, before then releasing the knee out to the left. Placing the sole of the foot to the inner thigh or the calf. Sitting up tall before you come forward with your heart. Flexing the right toes to the ceiling. Don't allow them to swing open. And breathe. Again, your dress is your big toe or just something on the floor, but allow the heart to come forward, shoulders back. So you have to use those back muscles to work hard. That's it. Good. Engage your core. One more. Breathe in. And on the exhalation, slowly sit up tall. Take the left knee with you. Extend the left leg away. And then scoot your bum forward. We're going to roll down onto our mat. We bridge, Setu Bandha. I like to use my legs for support, but if you want to engage your core, you can release your arms either side and use your core to lower your back all the way down to the mat. Slide your heels towards your sit bones, toes in line with heels, hip distance apart, and then tuck in your tailbone so you feel the whole of your spine flat on the mat. Start to engage your tush as you slowly peel your tailbone away from the floor, pressing the feet strongly into the mat, lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Keep the point of your nose pointed to the ceiling. Don't move your head, as you will aggravate your neck. Setu Bandha bridge pose. And again, we hold this for 5 breaths. Breathe it in, breathe it out. There's maybe 2. Breathe in. So in your in breath, you want to lift, and on exhale, you want to hold. Breathe in for 4, lift, squeeze, use the legs, use the tush. Breathe out, hold, one more time, breathe in. And on exhale, think into your upper back. And just when you're rolling up through your spine, you're stacking your vertebrae. This is the reverse action. You're lowering each vertebrae like a pearl necklace, one bead at a time, from the upper to the lower back, with control. Super good. And once you reach the floor with your tailbone, take your right knee into your chest, followed by the left. Place your hands on top of your knees, lengthen your spine, and rock your body from side to side. Well done. Come to center. Reach the right arm up and over your head. Roll over onto your right side. Left hand on the floor. Push the floor away with your left hand. Coming up to grab your clothes. To wrap up. Let it to the end. And the worst part of the class, I just realised I didn't put any lights on, but I think we're okay. So it's like, it's not going to turn off, don't even know. So wrap up. You did very well. And now, relax. Do you need a bolster or anything? Okay. Anybody need a pillow for underneath their head? Yeah, everybody okay? Before COVID, it would have been natural for the guys at the end of class to go up and get a pillow, to get blankets, to get bolsters underneath the knees, and then obviously we couldn't share all that. And it's now so, distant that we've done that, so we forget. So now just everybody wraps up with their own clothes. But it's really important to stay warm in this part of the class, because even though you feel warm, you do cool down quickly. So if you're at home, practicing, ensure to have your blankets nearby, your pillows, wrap up warm, get into a comfortable position. Arms a few inches away from your body, and your palms are rotated up. every joint, every muscle, ligament, tendon, fascia, every organ is resting. Receiving the gift of relaxation, allowing our body to be still. Only our breath, breathing in and breathing out. Allow yourself to be simply resting, simply, naively, openly, completely resting, making time for the dust to settle and the muddy waters to calm, simply waiting for a stream of deep knowing to flood your already vibrant understanding. Even the moon renews itself, even the ocean breathes. See this connection and let the morning curve of sunlight arcing across this blue planet guide you out beyond any sorrows in your heart and into the sunrise of your life and your love. In your awareness, back to your breath. The expansion of your belly, your ribs and your chest with your in-breath. The reducing, the contraction as you exhale and release. Noticing the parts of your body that are connected to the mat and to the floor, the space that your body takes up on your mat, in the studio, your surroundings. Taking your awareness to the sounds. And taking your awareness back to your breath. Becoming aware of your hands and of your feet. And bringing energy back into your body. Wiggle your fingers. And then wiggle your toes. Slowly wiggling up your body. And relax your hands and relax your feet. Take your awareness into your center, into your core, and draw your belly button in a little as you slide your heels one at a time up towards your sit bones, knees to the ceiling. Take a moment, allow your spine to adjust. When you're ready, take your knees into your chest, holding on to the tops of your knees, lengthen your spine and rock your body from side to side. Coming back to center, keeping your eyes closed, reach your right arm up and over your head, rolling over to your right side. Just rest here for a few breaths, allowing your heart to settle. With your eyes closed, push the floor away with your left hand, coming all the way up into a seated position. Sitting up tall, engaging your center, lifting your heart, and then bring your hands together in prayer. Rub the palms together, create peace. And then with your hands, place them over your eyes and allow the heat to penetrate. And then open your eyes behind your palms. Squeeze them shut open, squeeze them shut open. Look up, look down, look to the right, to the left. Rotate clockwise, anti-clockwise. And then close them again behind your palms as you take your palms back to your heart. Take a moment now and think of a positive affirmation. Something meaningful to you.
eyelids open.